We're going to do something a little different today. This is a viewpoint you've never had of my kitchen. I've had several comments about how people like my kitchen, and I appreciate that very much. I like my kitchen too, but it has some limitations, and we knew that 2.5 years ago when we bought this house, that the kitchen was not the most functional kitchen we could have. And so over the past 2.5 years, that has really hit home. And there are some key issues, and I want to kind of walk through them with you and tell you what I'm planning to do to hopefully get those issues fixed. So here it is, the whole thing. I hope you can see that. It is going to look a little different here through December, January, possibly into February, I hope not. But there's going to be a little bit of work going on in here. And so things are going to be a little discombobulated. I'll do as much pre-filming as I possibly can, but you know, at some point, it's just going to look like a total wreck in here, and you'll just have to bear with me. So welcome to Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter, and I'm so glad you're here today. Let's take a little look around. First thing I want to point out here is that the electric canner has just finished. You can still see the steam coming out. I have just canned up the last of Thanksgiving. So I ended up with 5 quarts of broth, 5 quarts of turkey soup base, and 8 pints of broth. So that's a great thing to add to my pantry shelf. I'm very excited about that. And I may do one more turkey while they're on sale, because that's really pretty much it for the turkey soup base that I have, and we enjoy that. All right, I'm gonna move you around the kitchen a little bit and show you some pieces of it up close, but kind of want to orient you. So this is where I normally stand to prep. This is the only place I really have to prep anything. So it's about 2.5 feet. You are normally right over there, kind of on the other side of this canner. You're over there, I'm here, and this is my workspace right here. Over here is the dishwasher and the drink cabinet that is very difficult to reach. Refrigerator. We have this island in the middle. This is a piece that I like it, but in the kitchen it's really useless. I mean, really useless. You can't work on it. It stains. I have some stains here, and that just makes me a little crazy to have it all stained. And then there's very little storage. It's all open. It kind of gathers dust, and anyway, we're going to get that fixed. And then over here, see, I have 2 ovens here. The oven placement is just fine. The range placement is just fine, although it's hard for me to find a place for you when I film there, but that's just, I can't change that. And then over here is the microwave, a little bit of storage, although not much. We're going to take a walk down the hall, and I'll show you where I have to store my dishes and my silverware, napkins, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of a haul down once we empty the dishwasher. So let's go take a look. Okay, so here you are on this side of my kitchen. My dishwasher is over there. Let's go see where the dishes go. There, past the garage, the regular pantry. Here's where the dishes go. Silverware. I'm going to bring you down and show you. All right, so this is a tough shot to get because it's a very small space, but this is where all of my dishes live. So I'm probably 30 feet from the dishwasher and around the corner past the garage, and you know, not the end of the world. We've done it for 2.5 years now, but it's time to get my dishes in the kitchen. Also down here, I have my silverware. So if you see me in there cooking and it's like, oh, I have to go get a spoon, I have to come over here to get a spoon. Again, we've done it. You know, I'm complaining about 30 feet, but we can do better. All right, let's go talk about the other side now. Okay, so this side, I hope you can kind of see it in the video. This is one of those old home management center things that were big in like the, I don't know, the early 2000s, maybe. They were kind of cool at the time, and then everybody realized that there's much more work to be done that can fit in this space. So this is going to go away. We'll use the cabinets elsewhere, garage, basement, laundry room, wherever. But we're going to take all of this out, and this is going to become essentially a pantry. So I'm gonna have a wall here, doors, and then this will all be like pantry shelving, right? I'll have a work surface here with some outlets so that my toaster oven, which has no place to live in the kitchen, can work in here. The Lomi, which runs for, 8 to 12 hour cycles, it can run in here. My air fryer, my dehydrator, my big roaster oven, even my electric pressure canner, all that kind of stuff I can use on the countertop in here and store it in this room as well. And I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to that, because I have some of it in the kitchen, I have some of it here, I have most of it in the garage. And like my mixer, I have a stand mixer, and it has been packed up since probably 6 months before we moved. So it's been in a box for 3 years. We plan to do at least this piece of the kitchen upgrade right when we moved in, but the bids we were getting were just crazy. It was 2021, the world had gone mad, and everything was so expensive. So we're like, yeah, let's just wait on that. So we have been, and it's probably a good thing that we have lived with this, and I know how I need this to function for me now. Probably better than I did then, although I would have gone a long way toward getting it perfect then. I think that the plan I have is a pretty good one, but you'll kind of see as we walk through, and I'm sure you'll have some more ideas too. Throw them at me. Not a whole lot I can change at this point, but I will be able to change some things. So I will have plenty of outlets here. I have some decent lighting here. I'll be able to close the doors. Things can run. This is also, this is where my poor kombucha comes to die. Because it's in an area that gets neglected, this is one of those areas I don't like to be in because it's just a junked up mess right now. This has really just become a SCOBY hotel, and I keep feeding it to keep it alive. But I bet I have, 8 SCOBYs in there. So I do look forward to getting back to making kombucha. And vinegars, these have been ready to filter for at least a couple of weeks. Those are ready to go. So I'm gonna have to pack all of this up in another week or so. So I'll take care of some of this, and then unfortunately for probably 2 or 3 months, everything is just going to be moved to the dining room. So there will be no entertaining going on in this house over the holidays. All right, let's go back in the kitchen. All right, so let's talk for a second about my bookcase. I love having all my cookbooks displayed like this. I think it's absolutely wonderful. But when it comes down to it, this is space that can probably be used better. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so now you're in what should be the breakfast eating area. The table that we had in Atlanta was much too large for this spot, and so we got rid of that. And then when we got down here, we just kind of never really got around to getting a table because I needed storage more. So this is an old piece of David's. We took this, and I have been using it. It's a pie safe, but I have been using it for platter storage, serving bowl stuff, and it's great that we have it, but it is crazy insane to try to get out that platter or this one. Everything has to move, everything has to come out, then everything has to go back in, and then when I'm done using it, everything has to come out, and then everything has to go back in. It's kind of a mess. And it's been working fine till now, but we can do better. All right, let's talk about the island for a second. Before we do, we have to acknowledge these beautiful flowers. When my daughter and her boyfriend were here for Thanksgiving, they filled the house with gorgeous flowers, and it was just so sweet. Anyway, we have a few little bouquets remaining, so that's what that's all about. It's not normally this beautiful in my kitchen. It's normally covered with all of these jars that have just come out of the canner. So this is my kitchen island, and when we first bought this place, I thought, well, that's great workspace, right? Well, it's not, because it stains. It's not waterproof. I can't wash my hands, as I'm cooking. I have to run around to the sink. And there's no storage. There's this one little area down here, which is fine. I can put my 2 heaviest appliances down here, but it's all open storage, so everything gets dusty, and that drives me crazy. So this table, I like it, not useful here. we're going to move it over to the breakfast area, and we're going to turn it into our breakfast or casual dining table. It's counter height, so we'll get some counter bar stools. I think it'll be great over there. Now we've talked about what's going to be going on down the hall, and I think that is going to alleviate so many of my storage and workspace issues. But let's talk about what we're doing in the kitchen, because this is going to bring about a huge change as well. This table, we mentioned, is going to become our breakfast casual dinner table, and I'm having an island built. This is my big splurge for this kitchen. I'm not ripping out cabinets, I'm not replacing granite, I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I am replacing most of the appliances, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is my splurge. Let's make more workspace, more storage. It's all going in this island. Okay, so this island is going to do several things for me. It's going to provide a ton of workspace. It'll be about the same size as this table. So I'll have all this workspace with good countertop that I can use just like any other kitchen countertop. I'm going to have a prep sink over here. I'm going to have my bookcases down below so that all of my cookbooks will be down here. I'm going to have some drawers here so I can have my knives and that kind of stuff. And then on the other side of this is the big win for kitchen storage. I'm going to have 2 banks of 3 drawers. So 1, 2, 3 times 2, right? That'll have my silverware, my napkins, my dishes, my bowls, my, I don't know what you call them, lap trays, you know, like if you're going to take a meal outside and sit on the patio kind of thing. It'll have all of that in there. And it's just, I don't know, 18 inches from the dishwasher when the dishwasher is open. So that I am so excited about, I can't even tell you. I'm going to have some lighting up here so I can see what I'm doing. In fact, I'm going to have most of the lighting in this room switched over because about 80% of it is yellow light, and it makes it very difficult to see kind of anything that's going on. So I hope that you'll get a better picture quality when you're looking at me. I can look at the camera now and I see that everything has this yellow tint to it. Hopefully there won't be any yellow when we're done fixing this. All right, so let's take a look at this bookcase now. Yes, I love it like this. I love seeing my cookbooks displayed. These are going to move into a built-in bookcase in the island. This top part is going to be rebuilt so that the shelves come out to meet the base. And I'll have 2 cabinet doors here, there and there. And all of my platters and all of my servingware can move over here. I'll have 6 shelves instead of 4. So I should have much better ability to not only put things in depth-wise, but also not to have to stack so many things on top of each other. And yes, there needs to be a little purge. Yes, I understand that. That'll happen. But I think I'm going to end up with something so much more usable, something where I could actually just come grab a platter without 4 loads of heavy things, taking them out and then back in. So that's my plan for the platters. Okay, so let's talk about the appliances for a minute. I have a dishwasher that doesn't wash dishes. Basically, we wash the dishes and put it in there for it to kind of sterilize with the heat. You know, it is what it is. It's a very old dishwasher and it just doesn't, anyway, it's getting replaced. I'm very excited about that. My ovens, the top oven I think probably works fine, but I'm short, and so it's very hard when this door comes down for me to effectively reach into there, especially if I have something heavy. It's a little bit dangerous. Everything's hot, of course, so I don't really use the top oven the way it is. The bottom oven I can easily access, but the back right corner cooks. The front left corner doesn't. So unless I'm there turning everything around, you know, several times while it's cooking, it ends up not cooked properly. So that's been an issue for me. My range top is fine, but it's got a lot of dings in it. It has a lot of old stains that, you know, a couple of burners don't come on if the front left burner is on. The microwave no longer rotates. The fridge works fine. The fridge is a side-by-side, and that's fine. I've had a side-by-side before, but I really want the fridge I had in Atlanta, and it's the French door kind with the freezer down on the bottom. To me, if I'm going to put a big dish in there, I can't put a casserole dish in this fridge. It's just not wide enough on the fridge side. So I'm really looking forward to making that switch. All the appliances should be changed out first week of February, I think, except the fridge. That one still has a delay on it, so it'll be May or June before that one comes in. But I hope that everything else will be ready to go. All right, so let's talk about a couple of other seemingly minor items, but things that drive me kind of crazy. This backsplash, it looks beautiful. It looks very old world, whatever. It is very porous and impossible to clean. I mean, just impossible. It's something splatters on there and it has seeped in before you can even get it off. So this backsplash is going to change to something clean looking and easier to clean. The other thing is the cabinets. I'm not replacing any of the cabinets, but they are so badly dinged up. I don't exactly know how that happened over the years. We're the third owner of this house, but the cabinets are pretty badly dinged up, so I'm going to have them painted. So at some point you will see my kitchen without all the cabinet doors, because I'll take those out to paint them. And then we'll have some painting, some spray painting going on in the kitchen itself. So there will be days when we can't be in the kitchen. We will be, I'm not exactly sure what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something else where we're staying out of the spray paint. So I have a couple other things. I have some cabinet doors that are broken, some drawers that aren't functional, a couple of things like that that really need to be fixed. I'm not replacing, I'm just going to fix those things. And I think that this will be a much more functional kitchen for us, and I hope that it will be an improvement for you as well, as I can make a bigger mess on a bigger surface. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm glad to have you here with me. I would love to have any ideas you have about working through a kitchen. It's not really a full remodel, but there will be times when I have less use of my kitchen than I would like to have, particularly for filming. You know, I can always feed us somehow. I have enough small appliances and stuff. I can manage to feed us even if my kitchen is torn up. But in terms of filming, maybe there are, I don't know, meals using small appliances or something we could figure out one day. Or, you know, maybe we'll spend a little time down in the grow room. They've given me a 12-week schedule on this, with the caveat that it may go beyond that. You know, appliances could get hung up. I think I'm okay on appliances though. I kind of ordered last year's model, got a great deal on them. They're kind of like in the warehouse, ready to go. So I think that the kitchen should be ready for those appliances to trade out first week of February, except of course for the fridge. And then I don't know exactly when everything else is going to happen, but the next 12 weeks things could be a bit less smooth around here. So I hope it's something that we can kind of work around in filming, and that you will bear with me if I get kind of booted out of the kitchen for a little bit and we need to go to the garden, or we need to go to the grow room, or we need to cook. I don't want to cook in the Instant Pot. That's one of those things. Maybe that's something you can help me do. I have a lot of small appliances, and at some point some of them need to go. The Instant Pot is one of those things I just really don't use, and I either need to get in the groove of using it because now I'll have a permanent place for it to live, or I need to pass it on. So anyway, we'll work on some of that kind of stuff as well. So I'm excited about the kitchen transformation. I hope we're going to be much more efficient here. I hope I'm going to have more workspace, more storage space, more outlets, more places for my things that I use, because I do use these things. There isn't anything, you know, there may be, well, maybe my Instant Pot doesn't get used very often, but all of my other appliances I use, and I would be using my mixer if it weren't stuck in the garage. So I'm excited about the transformation, and I hope that you will bear with me during all of the changes and the mess, and there will be mess. You know, at some point you're going to see the backer board here behind my stove as they rip out the tile, and you're going to see the insides of my cabinets as they take the doors off to paint them, and it's not going to be pretty, and I will do my best to minimize kind of what you see, because the videos that we do on canning specific things tend to live beyond the moment. So I really would like to keep the kitchen disaster to a minimum, but it is what it is. All right, so thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this tour. I know it was different, probably not what you were expecting, but get ready because it's coming. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.